I'm 78 years old, and I need to tell you something that's been eating me alive for half a century. My wife cheated on me when I was 28. Just once, she said. It meant nothing, she promised. I believed her. I forgave her. I stayed. That single decision, that moment of weakness disguised as strength, cost me everything that mattered. 50 years of my life, gone. Wasted on a marriage that died the day she climbed into another man's bed. If you're reading this and you're facing the same choice I did, please learn from my mistake. We met in college, Sarah and I. She had this laugh that could light up an entire room, bright, genuine, the kind that made everyone around her smile without knowing why. I was a shy engineering student, and she was studying to be a teacher. The first time she spoke to me at a campus party, I couldn't believe someone like her would notice someone like me. Our courtship was like something out of a movie. Long walks through the park, late-night study sessions that turned into conversations about everything and nothing, stolen kisses in the library stacks. When I proposed 2 years after graduation, she cried happy tears. My mother cried too. Everyone said we were perfect together. The first 5 years of our marriage were good, not perfect, no marriage is, but good. We bought a small house in the suburbs with a white picket fence and a maple tree in the front yard. I was working long hours at an engineering firm, climbing the ladder, providing for us the way a man should. Sarah taught second grade and would come home with stories about her students that made me laugh until my sides hurt. We talked about having children. We picked out names, Michael for a boy, Jennifer for a girl. We talked about growing old together, about sitting on our porch when we were 70, watching grandchildren play in that same front yard. I didn't know then that I'd reach 70, but there would be no joy in it, no contentment, just emptiness. Looking back now, I can see the signs I ignored, the way she started staying late at school for faculty meetings that seemed to happen more and more frequently, how she began dressing differently, brighter colors, tighter fits, perfume on random Tuesday afternoons when she was just going to grade papers. The distance in her eyes when we made love, like she was somewhere else, with someone else, experiencing something I wasn't part of. But I was busy. I was building a career, paying the mortgage, being a responsible husband. I trusted her completely. Why wouldn't I? She was my wife, my Sarah, the woman who'd promised to love me until death do us part. Trust is a funny thing. You build it brick by brick over years and it feels solid, unshakable. You think it's a fortress that nothing can penetrate, but it's really just a house of cards, and one strong wind can blow the whole thing down in seconds. It happened on a Thursday evening in October. I still remember every single detail of that day like it was yesterday, even though it was 50 years ago. I remember the smell of burning leaves in the air, the way the sunset painted our kitchen orange and gold through the window. I remember the sound of children playing down the street, their laughter drifting through the open window. I came home early, rare for me back then because I'd finished a project ahead of schedule. My boss had actually patted me on the back and told me to go enjoy an evening with my wife. Sarah wasn't expecting me. I found the letter in her coat pocket. I wasn't snooping, I swear I wasn't. I was just hanging up her jacket like I always did, being helpful, being the good husband, and a folded piece of paper fell out, landing on the floor at my feet. My hands started shaking before I even picked it up. Some deep primal part of me already knew what it was, already knew that my life was about to shatter. The letter was from him, Robert, a fellow teacher at her school. I'd met him once at a faculty dinner. Tall guy, charming smile, the kind of man who made easy conversation with everyone. I'd liked him. God, I'd actually liked him. The words are burned into my memory even now, 50 years later. I can still see his handwriting, those confident strokes. Last Tuesday was beautiful. I can't stop thinking about your skin, your taste, the way you whispered my name when you came. When can we meet again? I need to feel you again. My chest felt like someone had reached in and squeezed my heart with an iron fist. The room spun. The letter fell from my hands and I had to grip the counter to stay standing. Cold sweat broke out across my forehead, down my back. My stomach churned, and for a moment I thought I was going to be sick. Right there on our kitchen floor, this couldn't be real. Not my Sarah, not my wife, not the woman who'd promised to love only me forever. But the letter was real. The words were real. And somewhere in my mind, all those little signs I'd ignored started clicking into place like puzzle pieces forming a picture I'd refused to see. When she walked in 20 minutes later, humming some tune, carrying groceries, I was sitting at the kitchen table with the letter spread out in front of me. The humming stopped the moment she saw my face. The grocery bags fell from her hands. Oranges rolled across the floor. "Richard," she started, and her voice was already breaking. "Don't," I said. My voice didn't sound like my own. It sounded hollow, dead. "Just don't." She broke down immediately, tears, sobbing, the whole performance. She fell to her knees, actually fell to her knees like she was praying, and begged. It was just once, she swore through her tears. One mistake, one moment of weakness. Robert meant nothing to her. It was just physical, just a stupid, stupid mistake. She loved only me. She'd never do it again. She'd do anything to make it right. I sat there listening, feeling like I was underwater, like everything was happening to someone else, to some other poor fool whose wife had destroyed their world. This man I'd shaken hands with, this man whose jokes I'd laughed at over dinner, had been inside my wife, had touched her body, the body I'd thought was only mine to touch, had made her whisper his name when she climaxed. The images filled my head, and I couldn't make them stop. "When?" I asked. My voice sounded mechanical. "3 months ago," she whispered. "Just once. I swear, Richard, just once." 3 months. For 3 months she'd been lying to me. For 3 months she'd been kissing me goodnight, knowing what she'd done. For 3 months she'd let me make love to her while she carried this secret. Where? I don't know why I needed to know, but I did. His apartment. After a faculty meeting, we'd had wine and I wasn't thinking straight. His apartment. She'd gone to another man's apartment. She'd made the choice to walk through his door, to let him pour her wine, to let him touch her. This wasn't some sudden moment of passion. This was premeditated. This was a choice. I left. I grabbed my wallet and my keys, and I left. I drove to a motel on the highway and checked in. For 3 days, I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I just lay there on that scratchy motel bedspread, staring at the water-stained ceiling, playing it over and over in my mind like a movie I couldn't turn off. My mother called. Somehow she'd found out. Sarah must have called her desperate. My mother's voice was cold. "All men stray sometimes," she said. "But women, if you forgive this, Richard, she'll never respect you. She'll think you're weak. She'll do it again." My best friend Tom called. He came to the motel with beer and sat with me. "Brother," he said, "cut your losses. You're still young. You're only 28. You've got your whole life ahead of you. Start over. Find someone who won't do this to you." But then I started thinking about practical things. Our house, the mortgage we'd just started paying, the furniture we'd bought together, our friends, all married couples who would take sides, the shame of admitting failure, of being the guy whose wife cheated, the loneliness of starting over, dating again, explaining to every new woman why my marriage failed. And God help me. Beneath all the anger and hurt, I still loved her. Despite everything, some stupid, broken, pathetic part of me still loved her. I remembered her laugh. I remembered how she'd looked in her wedding dress. I remembered all the good times before this. She sent me a 10-page letter, handwritten, delivered to the motel. She explained everything, how Robert had been kind during a difficult time with her mother's illness, how one evening after a late meeting they'd had too much wine and it had just happened. She swore it was her biggest regret. She'd already transferred to a different school. She'd cut all contact with Robert. She'd blocked his number. She'd do marriage counseling, anything, everything. She'd spend the rest of her life making it up to me. On the 4th day, I went home. I forgave her. I chose to stay. Everyone told me I was doing the noble thing, being the bigger person, saving our marriage. Even the counselor we saw, 3 sessions, that's all because we didn't need more, praised my remarkable capacity for forgiveness and Sarah's genuine remorse. What nobody told me was that forgiveness doesn't mean healing, and staying doesn't mean the marriage survived. It just means you're both still in the same house, breathing the same air, pretending the corpse of your relationship isn't rotting between you. That was 50 years ago, 50 years of sleeping beside someone I could never fully trust again, 50 years of wondering, questioning, doubting every single thing. Every time she came home late from work, even just 15 minutes, my stomach would tighten into a knot. Every time the phone rang and she took it to another room, I'd strain to hear her voice, listening for that softness, that intimacy, that tone she'd used with him. Every time she laughed at another man's joke at a party, I'd search her face for signs. Was it happening again? Was it still happening? Had it ever really stopped? Or had she just gotten better at hiding it? We had 2 children, Michael and Jennifer, the names we'd picked out together in happier times. I loved them more than life itself, but even their births were tainted by the poison in our marriage. When Sarah was in labor with Michael, I looked at his tiny, perfect face and wondered, truly wondered, if he was mine. The timing worked out, but the doubt had planted itself so deep in my mind that I couldn't root it out. I never told anyone that. I never told Michael. But the thought was there, whispering in the dark corners of my mind for years. The intimacy we'd once shared never returned. Oh, we had sex. Regular, scheduled, mechanical sex that felt more like a chore than an expression of love. But the connection, that electric current that used to flow between us when our bodies touched, was gone. Cut. Dead. I'd look at her body during those moments and think about Robert, about his hands on her skin, and something inside me would recoil. Sometimes I couldn't finish. Sometimes I'd finish and then feel disgusted with myself, like I'd betrayed my own dignity. Sarah tried in her way. She was a dutiful wife. She cooked my favorite meals. She kept the house spotless. She attended every work function with a smile plastered on her face. She never, as far as I know, cheated again, but we were ghosts living in a haunted house, going through the motions of a marriage that had died that Thursday in October. My career suffered. The ambition I'd once had, the drive to be the best, to provide, to succeed, evaporated like morning mist. I couldn't focus. I couldn't care. I stopped pursuing promotions, stopped networking, stopped advancing. I plateaued at middle management while colleagues I'd once mentored climbed past me into positions I should have had. The fire in me was gone, snuffed out by betrayal. Our children grew up in a house without real love. Oh, we never fought in front of them. We were civil, polite, functional. We played the part of a normal family for the cameras, for the neighbors, for their teachers. But children aren't stupid. They sense these things in ways we don't even realize. Michael has had 2 failed marriages of his own. I wonder sometimes if he learned from watching us that marriage is just an act you perform, a role you play. Jennifer struggles with trust issues in her relationships. She's 45 now and still single. She told me once, tears in her eyes, "Dad, you and Mom never seemed happy. Not really. You were just there." Is that what marriage is supposed to be? Just existing next to someone? I didn't have an answer for her. What could I say? That she was right? That I'd wasted my life and poisoned hers in the process? Now I'm 78. Sarah is 76. We still live in the same house, that same suburban house with the white picket fence and the maple tree. We still sleep in the same bed, but we're strangers. Polite, familiar strangers who share a history but no present, no future worth mentioning. She watches her shows in the living room. I read in the study. We eat dinner together in silence, the clink of silverware on plates, the only sound. Sometimes entire days go by without meaningful conversation beyond pass the salt, or did you pay the electric bill? Last month I had a health scare. Chest pain, ambulance, trip to the emergency room. As I lay there with monitors beeping around me, tubes in my arm, I looked at Sarah sitting in the chair beside my hospital bed, and I felt nothing. This woman I'd spent 50 years with, and I felt absolutely nothing. No love, no anger, no regret, no relief, just emptiness. A vast, echoing emptiness where a life should have been. The doctor said I'd be fine, minor issue. But driving home, watching the world pass by through the car window, I realized I'd wasted my entire adult life. All those years I could have spent finding real love, building a genuine connection with someone who wouldn't betray me, being truly happy, gone, traded for false pride and fear of change. If you're reading this and you're in the situation I was in, if you've just discovered that betrayal, if you're sitting there trying to decide whether to stay or go, if people are telling you that forgiveness is strength, please listen to me. Don't do what I did. Don't let fear make your decision. Don't let pride convince you that staying is noble or strong. Don't fool yourself into thinking that forgiveness and healing are the same thing, because they're not. Don't believe people who tell you that time heals all wounds. It doesn't. Time just teaches you to live with the pain. The trust is broken. You can pretend it isn't. You can go through the motions. You can build a life that looks fine from the outside with the house and the kids and the holiday cards, but inside you'll be slowly dying. Every day, a little more of who you could have been will wither away until you're just a shell going through the motions. I wasted 50 years. I'm 78 now, and I don't have 50 more years to get it right. This is it. This hollow, empty, wasted life is all I get. But you, if you're young enough, if you're still at that crossroads, you still have time. You can still choose differently. I know you love them. I know it's complicated. I know leaving is hard and scary and feels impossible. But staying is harder. Staying costs you decades. Staying costs you yourself. Learn from my mistake. Please, don't waste your life the way I wasted mine.